Welcome, everyone, to our weekly meditation town hall. Today, we have the good fortune of having Eddie Hauben leading us, longtime practitioner as well as longtime friend of Lama Surya's, and he'll give you a little information, but I wanted to start with this information about our upcoming day-long retreat, January 4th. Lama Surya and Lama Roger will be teaching that day, as well as some of our senior students leading practice. So we do hope that you'll join us. It's a great way to start the year. So without further ado, I will turn it over to you, Eddie. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manla. It's appreciated. And good morning to everyone. I hope this morning finds you joyful and happy, with a mind at rest and a body at ease, to join us together in the Sangha, to share some insights and practice, and to honor our teacher Surya, and to be together in this environment, learning and growing together in terms of practice. And I just said something about the retreat. I just returned from a 7-day silent retreat at the Forest Refuge, which is a component of the Insight Meditation Society. It's for advanced practitioners and basically on your own. And I was on the design committee that helped design it, so I have a tremendous appreciation and love for the place. And since it opened in 2003, I've been there every year for a week, 22. This is my 22nd retreat there. I find myself entertaining, being proud of myself, which is a challenging, mindset. For me, it's a positive, it's a wholesome quality. But we were talking before, just entering onto the group, the men were about the importance of retreat time and the importance of practice. When we first opened the center, one of the feedback that we got early on is that it was too quiet. That we created this environment that was a silent meditation retreat, but it was too quiet. And it was really an interesting reflection on people's minds. I mean, our own minds, our own attention, our ability to be in practice there. But it's extraordinary to be in silence. So there's no talking this whole period of time. There's only one group sitting, and there's only one bell that's for lunch. Otherwise, you're on your own. You have your own room, and your practice is up to your own initiative and energy. And it's extraordinary. I found it extraordinary. And once again, it was a time of the ability, as Joseph Goldstein said when he first met his teacher, Manindra, that there was a question about, how do you begin to understand your mind and what is going on? And he said, you just have to sit down and observe it. And that's what, for me, this practice is about. And over the years with these retreats, it's grown simpler, less anxiety producing, going from full tilt catastrophe, my friend John Kabat-Zinn puts it, to being in total silence and being there with oneself. And what you realize is that if you sit quietly and you let your mind rest, it all comes up. Whatever you got, it's going to confront you or entertain you or otherwise be there in front of you. And as we talk and we continue to talk and share our practices together, it's the ability to show up and to be in the present moment, the natural great perfection of just being with whatever is, which is what our practice is about. And so I want to honor that importance of practice in a retreat setting. And the retreats, the one that Menla just mentioned, and others with Surya Das and other Tibetan as well as other spiritual leaders, are a benefit to not only yourself, but to all of us. So I encourage people, if you can, take the opportunity to do that. And now getting back to the present moment, I always like to begin my talks with a dedication to Lama Surya Das, who's our guiding light. And I read from his Awakening the Buddha Within. It's the forward inscription that he has, that's from Thich Nhat Hanh, great Vietnamese spiritual leader and meditator. This is the quote from him. I see awakening the Buddha within as a beautiful flower blooming on a beautiful tree that is wholeheartedly committed to true inquiry and practice. Lama Surya Das used the appropriate language that can communicate the wisdom and experience of Buddhism to the people of his times and environments. To me, this is a great achievement, and I feel deeply grateful for it. I wish Lama Surya Das a great deal of happiness in living and sharing the Buddha Dharma in the West. So I always feel it sets a tone for us to be together and to share his teachings and the teachings of great spiritual leaders and any mentor or leader that you've had in your life. And we will be practicing this morning with the loving kindness practice that I'm most engaged in my own practice. I did find something else. Why don't we take a comfortable seat? Find your seat and just settle in. You know, whatever anchor or whatever place you go to, whatever that practice might be, the anchor of the breath, possibly the body, sounds, choiceless awareness, or directing your attention to whatever holds you in this present moment. And just taking those, possibly those deep breaths and finding the place and your energy and spot. And feeling the collectiveness of being together in Sangha, being supported by others, and being in this present moment. I also love going on retreat because what comes up for me is a reminder that my teaching in a setting like this, that I'm always saying things like be present in this moment or no place to go, nowhere to go, but it doesn't connect in the moment in the teaching of it. But when sitting on retreat, those words come back to illuminate. So most recently I've been using this mind at rest and a body at ease. And during this retreat I had, it was very much like that. And in that posture, we find impermanence, the arising and falling away of all conditioned pieces. So with that, we'll just take a few minutes to calm the mind, let the body settle in. And as I did with the introduction from Thich Nhat Hanh, I found an amazing piece that I'd like to read while we're just settling in. And it's a direct transmission. I had never seen this in Surya's writings and books, but it was by his guru, Vencho Kempo, and it was in his book called The Natural Great Perfection that was done by the two of them. And it's an extraordinary piece and shared in terms of lineage holding, the essence of practice, and why and what we're doing here together. And a reflection on it based on that Surya Das has helped us come together in this space and learn to be with the present moment, no place to go and nothing to do. So as we sit quietly, I would just like to read this. This is a direct transmission. It's in the book. It's in chapter 12. It's called The Essential Meaning. And this is Kempo talking directly to Surya Das. I bow to the Bhagavan, King of the sky. Kai-ho, listen, my best heart friend, intelligent and learned, excellent son. If you're not familiar, Surya means son, and he talks about it here. Give up all distractions, all the many spreading delusions, and for an instant look at the absolute reality as it is. Today, in front, behind, and so on, in the 10 directions, above and below, all three varieties of perceptions, outer, inner, and intermediate. However they appear, all these are absolute reality as it is, and its natural expression. None other than creative display. Inwardly watch the nature of your mind. Sky-like, effortless, natural mind. Nature as it is. Spontaneously pure from the very beginning, absolute truth, beyond accomplishment through effort with cause and conditions. Great gnosis of self-luminosity, innate wakefulness, one's own intrinsic awareness. Transcending all the inhibitions, dwelling upon, coming and going, the natural state, free from concepts, mental projections, and absorptions. Everything is the natural flow, great spontaneous immanence. Gnosis beyond thought, expression, and example. Buddha's mind, nature of the great vast expanse. Wisdom mind of self-born Kantizampo. The ultimate reach of all the dharmas, sutras, tantras, transmissions, and pith instructions. Praised by the millions of past learned and accomplished ones, not only once, but again and again. This I request you to make the heart of all practice. Regarding the correct meditation on this meaning, the starting point of the practice is faith and a desire to be free from samsara. The ground of the practice is 4 mind changes. The foundation of the practice is refuge and bodhicitta. The guardian of the practice is the perfectly pure dedication prayer. These are the profound, vital points of all the paths of the sutras and tantras. As they make us reach the ultimate point of the path of practice, they are its roots and should not be lost. Therefore, my heart son, I request you to keep it in your heart mind. If one goes to the essence of this all this will be included. If not, then all the knowledge and studies, even though one preserves in them for kalpas, will only be a cause of weariness. This brief essential instruction is spoken by me, the evil wilderness man, Shamyang Dorje. I offer this advice, which is like my heart, to you, my best beloved heart friend. Do not relinquish it, but treasure it in your heart. By this merit, may your mind enjoy practicing continuously, without separation, the essential meaning. This is the advice to the American Dharma practitioner called Surya, who is learned in Buddhist and non-Buddhist scriptures. Gyao Magalam. I just wanted it to settle in, and I took a moment there. So that's why you saw it. So for just taking that moment and quiet, let us settle into those words and our dear leader and spiritual guide, Surya Das. So just sitting with that, being in the present moment, with a mind at rest and a body at ease. And breathing in, breathing out, letting the breath and calm come in, tension, angst go out. As we sit together in this present moment, nowhere to go and nothing to do. Sitting in our seat, the seat of these teachings and of our spirit. spiritual life. With understanding, appreciation, and gratitude for all the blessings we have in our lives. Connected by Sangha, spiritual friends, mentors, guides, bringing to mind all those who have helped us on our way. And again, experience the gratitude and joy of practice. And the direct experience of non-clinging either to the pleasant and the desire of having more, or to the unpleasant and pushing it away. But allowing the direct experience of impermanence be part of our spiritual journey. Connecting with the present moment. If the mind is wandering, note wandering, and return it to the anchor of your breath or the body. If there's agitation in the mind or sleepiness, try to gather effort to attend to these mind states and transform them into the wonder of the present moment, of just sitting with what is. And now moving our practice from the stillness of the very moment in the presence of being in that moment, expanding our heart and mind, and opening to the goodness of our well-being and spiritual journey. And beginning the practice of loving kindness. It's a way of expanding our heart and engaging directly in practices of metta, loving kindness, and compassion, karuna. And experiencing directly the capacity for our hearts to open even wider. And to learn about our inner goals, search. The Buddha said there was no one more deserving of forgiveness than oneself. And so I like to start with the self as a way of attending to the present moment and to our heart mind, the bodhicitta, heart mind of existence, and beginning to understand and appreciate the capacity for generosity and forgiveness in our hearts and minds. And staying with the Buddha's words on loving kindness, let us begin the practice of loving kindness with these words. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm, and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings. Radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. And as we practice, just to set the tone, there are very few times where the Buddha talks about specific benefits of a particular practice. But for metta, there's a list of 7 aspects that one attains by the practice of this meditation. One sleeps in comfort. One wakes in comfort. One has no bad dreams. One is dear to human beings. One is dear to non-human beings. One is protected by deities. One is not harmed by fire, poison, and weapon. One can concentrate easily. One's facial complexion is calm and serene. One dies unconfused. If one does not attain anything higher, one will be reborn in the Brahma world after death. So holding that all in mind, let us now begin the practice of loving kindness, of metta, and expanding our hearts and minds in the present moment, and using phrases that might resonate with your spiritual goals, desires, capacities, and listening to mine and listening to the words and taking in what resonates and stays with you, or just letting it go and practicing in the very moment. And using my phrases or ones that you feel more comfortable with. Let us start by wishing for ourselves. May I begin with being well and strong. May I be happy and peaceful, free from mental and physical harm, and may I live life at ease. And in the tradition, many of the Buddhist traditions, we repeat things 3 times. And so for the second time, keeping our self in our heart and wishing for ourselves may be well and strong, may be joyful and happy, free from mental and physical harm, and may I live life at ease. And for a third and final time, again keeping our self in the heart mind and connecting directly and wishing for ourselves. May I be strong and well. May I be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical harm, and may I live life at ease. And now moving out, expanding our heart, and bringing to mind a dear loved one, someone close, connected, always brings joy and happiness to you. And wishing for them as we do for ourselves. May be well and strong, may be joyful and happy, free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. And again, for the second time, bringing the dearest loved one into our heart and wishing for them, may they be strong and well, may they be joyful and happy, free from mental and physical harm, and may we live life at ease. And feeling gratitude for this person and holding them in our heart. For the third and final time, wishing for them as we do for ourselves. May be well and strong. May be happy and joyful. Free from mental and physical harm. And may you live life at ease. And now moving again outwards and bringing to mind a person, a mentor, spiritual guide, someone who's helped us on our way, given us comfort and support and guidance, and shed light on our journey. And wishing for them as we do for ourselves, may be well and strong, may be joyful and happy, free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. For a second time, holding this person, the mentor, loving guide, spiritual advisor, someone who's comforted and shown us the way along our path and has been there for us. May we wish for them as we do for ourselves. May you be well and strong. May you be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. And for a third and final time, holding this person dear to us, mentor, guide, spiritual advisor, comforter, healer, and wishing for them as we do for ourselves. May you be well and strong. May you be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. And continue to experience the joy in our hearts. Let us expand our awareness and bring to mind a neutral person, someone you don't really know but might encounter on a daily basis in the supermarket, on the train or transportation, somewhere in your life where you recognize somebody but do not have a connection. And holding them and wishing for them as we do for ourselves. May be well and strong. May be happy and joyful. Free from mental and physical harm. And may you live life at ease. And for a second time, holding this person in our heart, someone we don't really know, we encounter, but are not connected. And wishing for them as we do for ourselves. May be well and strong. May be joyful and happy. Free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. And continuing on as we directly experience the love and compassion that we can have for others and ourselves, we hold the neutral person in our heart and wishing for them as we do for ourselves. May be well and strong, joyful and happy. May you be free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. And as we move on, we now take on the ability to hold in our heart someone difficult or challenging, someone that possibly has hurt us in some way, has caused harm, ought to reconcile, not pass judgment. And wishing for them, as we do for ourselves, may be well and strong, may be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. And however challenging in this practice, we can hold someone who has been difficult or challenging to us, has caused harm, and we have judged. And holding them as we do ourselves, and wishing for them as we do for ourselves, may be strong and well, may you be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. And for the third and final time, holding this person in our heart, as challenging as it might be, and wishing for them as we do for ourselves, may be well and strong, may be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical harm, and may you live life at ease. And continuing our journey of expanding our heart. Now may we hold our families, friends, and community, and all of us gathered here in this Sangha, wishing for us as we do for ourselves. May we all be well and strong. May we be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical harm, and may we live life at ease. And continuing to hold all of us gathered here in this Sangha, together and expanding our heart to hold everyone, and wishing for us as we do for ourselves. May be well and strong. May be happy and joyful. May we be free from mental and physical harm. and may we live life at ease. Third and final time, holding our Sangha here, gathered, practicing together and helping each other on our way. You wish for all of us, as we do for ourselves, be well and strong, may be happy and joyful. Free from mental and physical harm. May we live life at ease. And again, returning to an expanded and wider heart. And now focusing more on our families, our friends, and our community. And wishing for them, as we do for ourselves, may be well and strong, may be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical harm, and may we live life at ease. And for a second time, holding expanded heart with friends, family, and our community, and wishing for them, as we do for ourselves, may be well and strong, may be joyful and happy, free from mental and physical harm, and may we live life at ease. And now finally, with a heart as wide, as open and wide as the world itself, may we hold all beings everywhere without exception, especially those in need of healing and comfort. And wishing for them, as we do for ourselves, may you be well and strong. May you be joyful and happy, free from mental and physical harm, and may we live life at ease. And for a second time, with a heart as wide as the world, that we hold all beings everywhere without exception, especially those in need of healing and comfort, wishing for them, as we do for ourselves, may you be well and strong. May you be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical suffering, and may you live life at ease. And for a final and third time, expanding our heart as wide as the world, and holding all beings everywhere without exception, especially those needing healing and comfort, and wishing for all, as we wish for ourselves, may be well and strong, May we be happy and joyful, free from mental and physical harm. May we live life at ease. And I'd like to close the loving kindness meditation with Lama Surya Das's millennial prayer. May all beings everywhere with whom we are inseparably interconnected and who want and need the same as we do, may they be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, safe, and free. May there be peace and harmony in this world and an end to war and violence, poverty and hunger, inequality and oppression, greed and cruelty, pandemics, famine, droughts, all kinds of natural disasters. May all be free from fear, harm, danger, anxiety, and insecurity. And may we all together complete the spiritual journey, one beloved community, one circle, one family, all the way home. So thank you for showing up and choosing to spend your time in this endeavor, spiritual journey. We do have a few minutes, and we did want to leave it some time for questions and response. If anybody would like to share their own practice or what's on their mind or in their heart, this would be a good time. I believe the way we'll do it is if you just put the question in the chat, Menla or Dory will take a look and choose or pick the questions that seem appropriate, sticking mostly with or interested in practice questions or your own experience, particularly with some loving kindness that we've done. But just expressing whatever's in your heart or on your mind. I'd love to hear from you.
Eddie, we do have a question in the
Great.
chat. Thank you for that wonderful practice. So the question is, in this practice, you say wishing for them as we do for ourselves. But what do you suggest if I'm not ready to do that for the person I'm having difficulty with? Do I do that person or what?
Yes, excellent question, and a common one. One way is to make it easy for yourself. Choose a pet or someone that's not complicated, someone that has not created harm, but might be just a small disturbance for you, and do it easily. Pick someone to hold that would be easier for you to offer these kind of gestures. And that is a way to begin the practice of being able to deal with more difficult or problematic people. It's a challenging one, and particularly a challenging time for many. The political sphere has a lot of people that are challenging, and that is a place some of our minds go to, our hearts. But it's an extraordinary practice in the ability, hopefully eventually, to hold those people that are difficult and to be able to wish for them as we do for ourselves. All of these practices, or many of them, are about lightening our minds and hearts. The intention is not to change somebody, but it's our ability to relate and to connect And as Surya talks about the interdependence, interconnectedness, that we're all here together. And it's this ability to not see each other as other, but as one. And so that's our challenge. So hopefully that's helpful and helps answer your question.
There's another one. Do you think this
Right.
loving kindness prayer is for a state of mind or actual physical condition of the prayer recipient?
Yeah, so I think there is the capacity that eventually, or in some ways, it can affect the physicality, but it's really for our emotional burden with an individual that is the real practice. It's for our own heart to be open wider and our capacity to love and have compassion for ourselves and those all around, and as we do with the neutral person or a difficult person. And again, it's not to change someone else, but the effect is to open our own heart and to see each other as one and not separate. I think there, in terms of this question, that there are those that have the capacity to not only hold this, but also to heal others and themselves. And I think out of this practice can emerge that sensitivity or that capacity that not only are you freeing or lifting the weight of your own heart, but that you can have a positive effect on others in a healing capacity. It's great fun and joy to be with all of you. I appreciate again, the foundation of practice is you show up. And clearly in this Sangha, people are showing up and being present. And that's really something that we all need more of in terms of our spiritual growth. This is a very challenging, I keep using the word challenging, but difficult time in terms of mental stress and strain. And being together in Sangha helps us face those challenges and those predicaments that we find ourselves in. And again, I encourage, as we talked at the beginning, if you can find the time to be on a silent retreat, that helps the mind to settle in a way that makes these practices come to life and be more relevant and actually do affect positive change. It also helps in the stillness. It gains, as you saw in the transmission, it gains a perspective, a more holistic perspective on the nature of humankind. For many years, I taught at the teen retreat at IMS. It was one of the first retreats that was held specifically for teenagers. And for many years, I would say at the end that in my appreciation and understanding of humankind is that the verdict is still out. It's not clear that humans can make it on this planet and survive the onslaught of mental defilements and the greed, hatred, and delusion of our minds. And so this practice for me has been able to dispel those. And one of the beauties about these practices, which help us dispel these unwholesome states, the greed, hatred, and delusion, is that actually the wholesome mind states, the Brahma Viharas, the loving kindness that we practice, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, all blossom on their own. You don't have to do anything, but you have to practice and you have to show up. But the results are extraordinarily valuable in one's spiritual development, the capacity to have genuine wholesome thoughts and an open heart and mind and be connected, that we are one and not separate. It's a long road. IMS is celebrating its 50th anniversary this next year, which is an extraordinary achievement in and of itself. And they're building a new center. And Joseph Goldstein said in their promotion for it, it's a center for the next 1,000 years, which I thought was a very ambitious but extraordinary statement. That, one is that if you trust in the Dharma, it'll take care of you. It'll take care of us. And I think it's in that big view. It's helpful to have a big view at this point in terms of these unwholesome states of mind that are really challenging for ourselves and for the community we live in. Still have a couple more minutes if anybody's interested, or we could just take a few more minutes to quiet and think about gratitude for all the blessings we have in our lives and our ability to be present with ourselves and others, to share the Dharma, to be connected, to be compassionate. And to hold each other in our hearts. So again, I appreciate everyone showing up and being here together in this space and sharing our spiritual journeys. It's always reassuring from this side of the Zoom window to be participating with so many that have also found the value and the need for spiritual nourishment, nurturing, and protection as we go through life and unfold. And for many of us, this is the fourth quarter, as my basketball reference of the game. And so it's, to have that capacity to appreciate the journey we've been on and face the life before death of being present and in that capacity to understand and appreciate life's journey from that perspective and share that wisdom with others and really help others in their trajectory. And for others, let us be the mentor that we bring to mind in our heart of somebody that we've helped guide or been available to heal, offer healing and comfort. So I think that'll do it. I get a gong for that. Okay, always a pleasure, and thank you for all coming.